I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Seats first and second. All in favor
Aye.
Was this for the minute?
for the open session?
We didn't approve the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, then who did the first one?
I mean,
And then Mr. Seats second. Before we do the closed session, we have,
Thank you.
before we do the closed session, have you guys had a chance to look at the agenda for tonight?
Yes.
We have a motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve it.
Second,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
You're welcome. Just let my eyes move faster down the list a little. Okay, now, for the closed session for February 9th.
I make a motion.
No second.
And all in favor?
Second.
All right, at this time, we would be going into open forum. I believe we have a couple of insurance groups to present tonight. How do you guys normally do, the two of you that have been here before, if insurance companies come and speak during open forum, do we hold them to the 5-minute thing, or?
No.
Just whatever they present.
Okay, all right.
Can we first?
Okay.
It's fine. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good to see y'all. I'll stand right here, is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, running on. She was lucky, she got jerky today, so.
Thank
Should have
you.
brought y'all some, my bad, so my name's Isaac Wagner. I'm with Liberty National today, and this is our Worksite Advantage program. We've been serving working Americans since 1900 with our local offices nationwide. I'm from the Ozark office, so not too far, about an hour and 15 from here. But we have more policyholders than any other life insurance company in the nation, and our top financial ratings kind of prove it with a AM Best and member of the Better Business Bureaus. Are you guys sports fans? Yeah?
Yeah.
Chiefs fans?
Was.
hopefully? Was? What happened? No. So, we have the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Cowboys, because our home office is in McKinney, Texas, the Globe Life home office. And then, I don't know how we picked up the Braves and the Lakers, but they're there to help us out. So that helps us, so we don't have to do sponsorships like, places like Aflac, they do, Deion Sanders and, the Duck and everything like that, which I think is awesome. I love Aflac, I love their Duck. But, so kind of what we do, at no cost to the employers, or the city, we help attract and retain employees with much needed benefits. And we also help you guys protect help protect the ones you care about the most. And we help employers and employees save on your guys' most valuable tax dollars. So, kind of how we're different, I think I'd heard that you guys have brought in certain ones like Aflac and stuff like that. So, we offer our unique life benefits, we work on our needs-based approach, and we also have 2 introductory offers for each employee just for sitting down with us. So, that is $3,000 for the employee, $3,000 for their spouse, and $1,000 per dependent kiddo. And also it comes with a no-cost discount card with access to a national network with thousands of local providers and discounts on vision and hearing, prescription drugs, and chiropractic care. Chiropractic care was a big one for me because growing up, we're a big sports family. I grew up in a big sports family, so we always got, having to get cracked. So, and then on the needs-based approach, we just want to make sure that if the average employee of the city was to pass away, they'd be able to cover their final expenses, income replacement, and mortgage protection. And if they were to suffer of a cancer, heart attack, stroke, or accident, then they would be able to keep the lights on, keep the car running, stuff like that. And now, our unique life benefit, so we kind of grandfathered into this policy, is a group term life policy with coverage to age 100 and a paid up option at 65. And everything is permanent and portable, so if they were to leave the city for some reason, everything that they get with Globe Life goes with them. and even if they were to retire, stuff like that. And everything is pre-taxable up to $50,000, and it enables employers and employees to save on you guys' most valuable tax dollars. And cancer policy, our cancer endurance policy. So 2 in the 5 people in the U.S., according to the American Cancer Society, are affected by cancer. So that's why I always like to sit down and offer our cancer endurance policy. It works on a first occurrence benefit with, I think it's $3,500, just right off the rip. And then chemotherapy and radiation, and hospital confinement and transportation. So this policy never drops because cancer is reoccurring, of course. And so this policy has no maximum. And then our critical illness policies cover stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, and organs transplant with a choice of $10,000 to $50,000 cash lump sum benefits available for cancer and critical illness policies. And so that one's just like, you can get, we call it cash cancer. They get a choice from $10,000 to $50,000 in coverage for cancer. But the thing with that one is it doesn't, it ends when they just draw out the money for, say they get cancer and then they have $50,000 covered, they get $50,000 straight up. And then that's it. So that's why I always like to push the cancer endurance one more. And then our Accident Protector Max, that's coverage for the entire family, 24 hours on and off the job, and it pays cash directly to the insured. So this is like little Timmy was playing baseball, broke his ankle. So this would, for emergency treatment, what we consider an emergency is up to 48 hours. So emergency treatment up to $500, initial hospitalization treatment up to $1,000, and daily hospital confinement $150 to $500. Hospital intensive care 2 times daily, the hospital benefit. And so, kind of how it works, we meet with each employee for a few minutes. We provide them with those free offers, of course. And then we complete the needs analysis and offer protection with those needs. Thank you.
Do you have the cards that I can-
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys for giving me time today, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want next, or-
Me next, you ready? All right, so I'm Sean. I'm a little nervous now because I didn't realize he was also from Globe Life, but I'm also from Globe Life. I'm from the Family Heritage Division.
Okay.
So Globe Life has 7 different divisions. What we do is a little bit similar, but we work, a little bit differently. So we are more similar to Aflac. We're a cafeteria-style supplement coverage policy. So we offer cancer, heart attack, and accident, kind of similar to what he was saying. The differences with us is if you need our services, then we're here for you. We're going to give you everything that we say per line item, but if you never use our services, it acts as such as a savings account, whereas every penny that you paid in, minus any claims paid, gets returned back to you after 25 years. So if you need us, then we're here for you. If you don't, then we're just cash right back in your pocket. I get to come in with a check, $30,000, whatever it is. To get into the skinny of it, the way it works is for the emergency treatment benefit, it's $400 if you need urgent care, primary care, anything of that nature. If you need a scan, it's $400, EKG, CAT scan, things of that nature. For the hospitalization benefit, it's $800 every single day that you're in the hospital. So 10 days is $8,000, 100 days is $80,000, right? The first night that you're admitted into the hospital is $3,200, and then that stacks with everything else that we offer. We have the observation room benefit, which is $400. For the ambulance benefit, it's $1,200 for ground, $2,400 for air. The fracture benefit, the basic idea here is the bigger the bone, the more we're going to pay you. So if it's your wrist or your ankle, it's $2,800. If it's something serious, we're going to give you $10,000 for a femur. For the dislocation benefit, same way. If it's your shoulder, it's going to be $2,500. If it's your hip, it's $6,400. Right? For the surgery benefit, it's $1,600 per surgery in case you need it. So if you dislocate your shoulder and need a surgery, we're going to give you the $2,500 and the $1,600. So there's no limits there. The physical therapy benefit, if anyone's going to hit a limit, it's probably this one. It's $200 a day per day of physical therapy for 12 days per accident. So that's the one where if anyone's going to hit a limit on what it is that we do, it's going to be on that physical therapy. We have a concussion benefit for $400 and a coma benefit for $4,000. If you lose a limb, it is $20,000. If you pass away from an accident, it is $40,000. If you add kids to your plan, it's $200 a night if you have to travel for care, right? We may not be putting you in a 5-star Hilton, but a $60 hotel so you can be close by to the hospital to shower and sleep. That's what this is there for. And if one of the policyholders passes away from an accident, it's up to $20,000 per child for them to go to college, to continue their education. Now, the things that we don't cover, just as important as what we do cover, no pro rodeo, no pro racing, no robbing banks, right? Just do your normal stuff, day-to-day basics, and you're gonna be covered, right? This pays on top of workers' comp, this pays on top of any other insurance you already own, short-term, long-term, VW benefits, anything like that. We don't speak to insurance companies, we just pay you what we promise we're gonna pay you. We've never raised a rate on an existing policyholder. Our rates are based on age, so whatever age category you're in, we just sit down with you individually, whether it's an individual or a family. Number of kids doesn't matter. It can be 1 kid to 8 kids and still give you the same price. We don't go through payroll, so you own this policy. Wherever you go in life, this policy is going to stay with you. You're going to be protected the whole way through your journey. We also have the ICU benefit. To keep it simple, $1,600 a day up to $48,000, or $800 a day for children up to $24,000. If you're in a vehicular accident, 4 wheels registered on the road doing what you're supposed to be doing, that bonus doubles to $3,200. Right? We work with a lot of your guys' local fire department already. So I think Deshaun, one of your guys' volunteer firefighters, we work with him. I believe Brian, if I'm not mistaken, has signed up our fire chief here. So we work with a lot of people in this area already, and we just work on an individual basis. So same kind of thing. If you're interested, we sit down with you, go over what it looks like, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Do you have your card?
I do not, but I did take pamphlets. My cards are still in back order.
Thank you. Please, I was just going to do that. Thank you.
Fabulous already?
So much, and then we can, thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
And you guys are free to go when you have a moment to, you do not have to stay.
Thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you all.
God bless you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I borrow it for a minute? I gotta find something. Back to there.
You want the latest version?
Yes.
Right.
All right, now we'll proceed with the regular portion of open forum. If there's anyone that would like to speak, just sign on the list, and then you can speak to us for up to 5 minutes. If there's conversation, it'll be about 7 minutes. Is there anyone tonight that wanted to speak? All right. Moving forward, Nick, was there a part you wanted to share tonight during open forum, or were you wanting to?
I'll just do it when the report,
Okay.
yeah, wastewater report's fine.
All right. All right. This time, we're moving to the ordinance to update our dog license information that somehow or other's either we don't have the ordinance in the back or something, but we need to get one on paper and in the system. So, reading.
Is that 205.025 we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, I think they'll have this
We
the
will.
number.
I haven't seen it. Is it something
It's-
in there?
Ordinance three
Three.
dash
Here and
Okay.
31.
3.1.
If you haven't seen it, I can just go ahead and read it. It's bill number 02192026, an ordinance to amend the city code 205.025 to require the licensing and registration of dogs, providing for vaccination requirements, fees, tags, and penalties. Whereas the city council finds it is in the best interest of public health, safety, and animal welfare to maintain a registry of dogs within the city limits, now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Diamond as follows. Section 1, definitions: owner, any person or persons, firm, association, or corporation owning, keeping, or harboring one or more dogs. Vaccinated, a dog that has been inoculated against rabies by a licensed veterinarian. At large, a dog off the premises of the owner and not under the immediate control of a competent person by leash, cord, or chain. Section 2, license requirement. Every owner of a dog over the age of 4 months within city limits shall, upon bringing the dog into the city or within 30 days of the dog reaching 4 months of age, obtain a license for the dog. Duration. License shall be valid for a period of 1 year, January 1st through December 31st, and must be renewed annually. 3, application for a license shall be made to the city clerk and shall include name, address, and phone number of the owner, description of the dog by breed, color, sex, age, and name, proof of current rabies vaccination. Section 3, license fee. License fees shall be set by the city council and may change yearly. Replacement tags are available. Section 4, tags and collars. Issuance upon payment of the license fee, the city shall issue a metal tag bearing the registration number. Wearing the tag, the owner shall ensure the dog wears a collar or harness at all times with the current rabies and city license tag attached. And transferability tags are not transferable from one dog to another. What this writing of the ordinance did is kind of updated wording, but also made it so that from now on, when you do your change in tag prices at the annual, you won't have to rewrite your ordinance. It just has to be, let the community know what the new price would be. So, do I have a motion to accept the first reading of the ordinance?
I will.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second reading. Can I have a motion to do the second reading by title only?
You don't need a motion.
I don't need it on the second?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Second reading, bill number 02192026, an ordinance to amend the city code 205.025 to require the licensing and registration of dogs, providing for vaccination requirements, fees, tags, and penalties, sorry. Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second? Michael had his hand up first. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so. I'm gonna sign that one. this fiscal time being.
Wouldn't be for once.
I'm glad it was yours that went off first, so I could silence mine before it. Old business was the City of Diamond Employee Handbook. I had one issue, that I wanted to possibly change in there. I could not find it in Mr. Wicker's, going through it really fast, but, Tanner had put in something, about, if an employee was fired or, this one, or, I can't remember the wording, but I think it was fired, was given their leave. They were to lose all of their PTO, but the board could vote to, change that basically if they wanted to on an individual basis. Because of the way our PTO was originally set up, where we did it because we had people in positions that can't take actual 2 and 3 week vacations, or the city could be in kind of trouble. And because of the kind of a need for sick leave, they, not real sick leave, but putting the 2 vacation and sick leave together, PTO was being used. I do not think we can legally take that away. So, that's why I couldn't find it. It's one little paragraph and one little part. And he added the part about you guys could, give that back on an individual basis, because I, said I didn't like that in there the first time, but I would like to have it completely taken out, because I don't think it's legal. So I know that part, if you guys are okay with me taking that out, I know Mr. Badley's already nodded his head, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so, are you guys at least okay for now, since we're still gonna be talking about this probably next month? Are you okay if I go ahead and take my digital copy and take that out of there?
Well, are we gonna review this tonight or not?
We can, I don't have my physical copy, and I don't know where it went to. I probably took it home, so let me go look and see if I have it on my desk, someplace I didn't.
I don't remember seeing that.
Page 18, right at the top.
18?
Did you have the digital in the last month's? Okay,
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
can you give me that page number on it?
18.
18, yeah, very top of it.
Also on page 4, we've got city administrator in there and the organization chart.
Yes, sir.
I know we're in between the city administrator, are we gonna leave that in there?
You guys have voted for the position, so
Yeah, we have to leave
for
it.
right now, we'll leave it in.
Okay.
If
Did you
guys-
find your copy?
No, if you guys will tell me your page number, some of it I saw in yours was things that I had talked to you about. case you guys don't know, this is our judge.
Hi.
Page 6, reporting time worked and lunch periods. I know we had discussed that, and there was a lot of issues about that. Do we want to leave that wording as it is?
I don't think that's what we're doing now, is it?
No, no, I don't think so. I think it was pretty much doing their own thing.
Can I take a copy of this? I don't have a copy.
Mr. Wooders is on stage.
Yeah, you want that?
Thank you.
Can you just go ahead and take a second?
Yeah.
So, 1 hour for 8-hour workday, 30 minutes for workdays
yeah.
more than 4 hours,
Yeah.
less than 8. No lunch period for a workday, less than 4 hours.
Yeah. And the wording on that has some confused too, because they think it's a paid lunch, but it's not a paid lunch, so, because of the wording in the paragraph or something like that. Also,
It is a paid lunch, isn't it? You guys, they get paid now for lunch.
no, they've been doing 8-hour days, and if they eat at all, they're eating on the go.
So you get a big lunch and all that now. You get paid 8 hours straight.
You get paid for 8 hours.
But they're not sitting down and taking an hour lunch break either.
Spending 400 each market today.
So I don't know if this implies they should take a 1 hour lunch or what. Doesn't really clarify it very well.
That was one of the things we
It
had.
was always a 30-minute lunch before.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes in the field and it was an hour in the office.
You said it's on page 6.
Page 6,
Yeah.
middle of page 6.
Good thing you made your copy, because it has your markings all over it, so. What is the word for time in my system? And also in there, it didn't include like the 15-minute break, so if you were doing 30-minute lunch and 2 15s, that would be your hour, but I don't know how you guys. I mean, we can take it out however we want. Where it's on page 6, talking about the reporting time and lunch period.
Is anybody familiar enough with FLSA to know it? I mean, where I've been before, you know, I had to deal with unions, so they fought just really, really hard. But is there any requirement in there that if they work over 8 hours, they must take it for safety reasons? I mean, I've come across that in the past.
And that's the other
Not
thing.
with the city.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I think cities are exempt from
Yep.
certain
You
things.
work 24 hours a day, as long as it takes.
So, which is why in the past, these guys have been paid to work through their lunch however they do it. But now, they're trying really hard to keep their hours down as close to 40 as they can. Things are still happening once in a while, as you guys know.
I would say just the whole section should be scrapped and let them determine their lunches on their own.
And, all right, and do you want me to reword it so that the paydays are still in there and stuff like that? The pay period or whatever, so at least we have a record of the, or do you just want me to take that whole section out?
I don't see anything in there about,
It's the city's pay week
I
begins at
think
12.
that's in a different place under timekeeping, isn't it? I think I remember seeing it somewhere else. as the start time, end time, you know, when the payments start, I don't know where we're at, but
I think that was the only place I remember it at, but that's what I asked about. But
there's still a bit of time. We can leave it there.
okay. Would you just wanna take out the lunch period and all that stuff?
I would not leave it in there, just strictly to protect the employees too. Because then they'll have something in writing if the city decides to not honor their hour breaks for their hour lunch.
So what do you guys all think? And I agree, we need to protect both sides of it, and that's part of what the handbook's for.
I say leave it in there as long as it's what they're doing, what we're doing, you know? I mean, and what we're holding them to, you know? And what they hold us to, you know?
And as these guys said, they already take less than their hours, so they're trying to figure out what they're doing. And I know Amy and Tiffany kinda eat on the go. All right, and I'll just leave it for right now. Mr. Wicker, on page 7, were you just wanting to change the word?
Yeah, change the or to and, because both apply.
Contract terms.
Where are you at?
About the, change to the fourth line down from the top,
On
where it
page
says
7.
contract terms or performance evaluation.
Appointed officer as an individual entity formerly appointed by law. Leadership structure, this position typically defined over as said, contract terms, should be saying and or. Cause, not everybody is on a contract. That was a good catch, because I didn't see it. All right, and then down,
The next one, I'm fine with the way it was, I just,
regular scheduled to work. Oh, for the full-time
Yeah.
employee, yeah,
yeah, that's fine the way it was.
yeah, just leave that one, because, did anybody else have anything on page 7 that they need? Michael, do you want us to make you a copy of this?
Yeah, I have one of these, so, you know.
You didn't have anything on page 8, anybody else? I tried to catch a bunch of stuff, but I'm glad you caught that one. Nothing is listed or shown on page 10. You good there? Am I going too fast for anybody?
What's the question?
On page 10, is there anything that any of you guys had that you needed? It's the cell phones and the ethics policy. Page 11 is the beginning of the harassment policy. I think the next page, Mr. Wicker had anything on this page 13. Any questions on page 11 or 12? The probationary period and the appointment and promotions.
Yeah, I'm not 13, you know.
Did you page 13, in the discipline policy. Okay, can I read this real quick before you? Informal warning under most circumstances. I didn't catch that part. The employees do not receive.
Yeah, well, I think
If-
you should
if
be
it's-
entitled to a copy of anything. you know?
If it's going in their file, they should be contacted. So can I just take out do not?
Yeah, and if they receive a copy, I mean,
Turn to our, and then say, we don't need to require them to sign the.
no, don't be a copy of it.
Just take out the do not. That page. Okay, and then. Are you wanting to
It
see
really doesn't
change it?
apply to anybody that I'm aware of, does it?
Suspension is the most serious action supervisor. What it would be basically like making on, if they had to do something for the boys because they did something that was careless or something. So they would, it's basically giving them that supervisor ability to,
Okay,
authorize a
that's assuming,
suspension.
okay, they're not
Right.
equal in their position, even though we're calling them equal in title and everything,
well,
right?
I don't know if we're,
See, there's the
That-
gray
that's-
area
yeah,
that we're
that's-
looking at.
and that, yeah, so, we, yeah, we would probably have to take out supervisor,
Yeah, put
Include-
city administrator, mayor or something.
yeah.
Well, and actually, you already got it there, so.
So, edit to remove supervisor until we actually have a supervisor position. Or do you wanna keep it in there in case we move back to a supervisor in a position?
I mean, we didn't,
Do you guys want me to, under suspension subject to discharge, do you want me to take out, suspension is the most, edit, suspension is the most serious action a supervisor is authorized to take without a pre-approval by the city administrator mayor? Or do you want me to take it out since that right at this moment, we do not have a, supervisor other than the mayor and the city administrator, according to the charter?
How about just remove that whole first sentence? All the way from suspension to mayor? And just start in with the action is reserved.
For serious incidents. Okay. Are you good, are all of you good with that?
That's good. I think so.
And I apologize, Henry told me he was gonna try to talk with, several of the, employees and go over some of this, but I don't think he made it to talk to you guys, so remove sentence 1.
And then the other thing, I saw there was that suspensions are unpaid, that may or may not be true, depending on,
Yeah.
you know, what. I don't know.
And then the reason he put it that way is because he said they could use their PTO time to cover that time that they were off. But,
puts them on vacation instead of,
suspension, yeah. So,
The only vacation you get,
so,
I'll take it.
do you want me to say suspensions may be unpaid?
yeah,
Like
that'd be
if
fine, I
it-
don't have a
if
problem with that, you know?
If it's a extreme situation,
Yeah,
maybe. Unpaid. Okay. Take out R and put may be. Anything else on page 13? Mr. Wicker, you didn't like that section very much.
I like being fair.
On page 14 at the top, first real sentence, he's highlighted the city administrator, mayor are the only persons authorized to terminate an employee without Board of Alderman vote. That's actually true right now,
Yeah.
but I think,
I'd like to see the board vote if anybody gets terminated, you know? I mean, that's just,
yeah,
that's a
but-
serious-
and I don't ever, I wouldn't fire without you guys,
but with that sentence in there, somebody
But-
could, and
how can we reword that? Because we do have extreme circumstances where you need somebody off. Would that
usually
be
you
where
go
we would go to the suspension and
administrative
Pending-
leave until you
pending-
figure out what the deal
then
is.
pending,
And then to take the action. I mean, we're all a phone call away
yeah.
for the emergency board
One
meeting.
person's authorized to, authorized to put an employee on administrative leave pending termination.
Yeah, or something like that, you know?
Employee. Oh shoot, I just lost my words. On administrative leave. Pending a vote of termination. Okay,
And then the last sentence in that paragraph, I don't know why we need that there.
since describing this section, our former employee within disciplinary action.
And that's
So
a
it's-
given.
It's to protect us, I think, so that they know they're already in the protocol, but that's up to you guys again also. Because I think it's because of this section. Yeah, this is all under suspension, subject to discharge. So these are all, this,
Yeah, you can leave it if you want, I don't care, I don't know why it would even, leave it if you want.
I'll try to look, I may contact somebody else and see. Okay, and then you had at the bottom to take out as appropriate, the mayor will review the appeal and may consult the board.
Because you got May there, sorry, but that's
Yeah.
minor, it's minor.
May consult the board of aldermen as appropriate. Look at that. And then you had, did anybody have anything on the page 15 and 16, complaints, holidays, and per diem expenses? And the per diem thing kinda had to be left a little open-ended, depending on the situation and what happens and why people are driving and stuff like that. But it should have enough to support the city. But you guys may wanna look through that and see if there's anything that you see. So you guys,
We get 9 hours to make it 40. So,
on the first 4 days of the week though, right?
yeah, so just make it so.
You can do that on receipts.
To reimbursement.
Let's see if it's- Was there anything in the provision that you guys saw that needed to change?
Okay.
Go ahead.
How do you, so, on the reimbursements, how do they get reimbursed?
Um, Hopefully,
Like, they're not using the city card, they're paying this out of their own pocket, and then,
that would be the only time there would be a reimbursement, but I've already talked to most of them. We've been trying to cut back on any of the types of reimbursement, but if they're on a trip or something like that, and for example, when I went to teachers' conferences, there were always people there selling things that you could use in the classroom, but that's not written into what you got in the conference with. So if you don't have your city card with you or your school card with you, you had to use your own personal
but,
items. So that's basically about all that we would have, I think, right now. Unless, like when you guys went this past week, did you use your city card or your personal card?
City card, yeah.
So-
Got the receipts and
Yeah,
so we applied to our specific department and.
it just
for our
says
conference.
receipts are not required for per diem reimbursements. Why would you not want the receipts?
Yeah, I put
I
receipts.
don't even think I saw that part, or else I said something about it and he didn't change that part. Where, can you tell me where that was at, that line?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom,
Per diem.
up and one.
Says receipts are not required for.
I'll take out not, cause I was required at school,
Right.
if I was doing any for, our group, I made them put the receipt in there, so. Take that out. Amy noticed up on holidays where it says all full-time employees shall receive, the third paragraph. The field workers, theirs is 8, but on Monday through Thursday, the office ladies, they're 9s. Do I need to add that, change that? How do you want me to put that in there? On the,
It's on
Third
page
period,
16.
right here. Third page.
the third paragraph, all full-time employees shall receive. I thought they were only getting 8 hours a day, that's why I didn't notice it. Until Amy just now said that they were getting 9 hours, cause their, office hours are about 9 hours.
How about just changing it to their standard?
Just-
Take the 8 out, should
Just
receive
say-
their standard hours.
Okay, that sounds good. So to the employees, standard hours. So if the holiday happens on Friday, they would get their 4 hours if it happens on another day. That's up to you guys. Cause
I think it should be 8.
8 is what I
I think it should be 8.
Then it would be-
I mean, you guys just give me a vote, just tell me what you want. You want 8, you want employee standard hours. I think the reason, if it doesn't say 8, and that the holiday is a Friday, they're losing 4 hours of their holiday pay. And it kinda balanced out for the other ones, you know,
I just say 8, that's what I recommend. I mean, that-
Yeah, it might be smart to just have a, just in case of the day that ship lands on.
Receive 8. All right. Nothing else on 16. Mr. Wicker had noticed on page 17, you just wanted to change it from
Yeah.
supervisor, department head, which right now we have nobody actually
Yeah.
showing that to the
Yeah, you're right.
How are you guys? It's third line down. It's just approved, and that probably should have been city administrator, mayor anyway, since it's the mileage approval. Are you guys okay with changing that to city administrator, mayor? Where it says the supervisor, department head? Under mileage reimbursement, third line. Any objection with that? Okay.
No.
Good. Nick, can you come here just a minute? This is Mr. Wicker's notes. Is that right for what you guys remember?
What is this, 38?
Yeah.
That what this is, PTO? Um, 1 to 10 was actually 3 weeks,
So 120.
in your first 10. And then after that, you got a bump, I think it was a week. I'd have to check and see what the old handbook had. I think after your next 5, you got another, just the way your years are there. But yeah, the 1 to 10 started off as 3 weeks.
So that would be, one, if it bumped again, that would be another 40 for another
Correct,
week.
yeah.
That was in record. So,
So right here, it's 1 to 10, it's 15 days PTO, which is essentially 3 weeks of business. 11 to 15 is 20 days, which would be a year, yeah. And then 15 plus.
you got an extra 8, or was it worded as 8 hours every year of service?
Yeah, you get 20 days plus 1 day for every year of service, yeah.
So the 1 to 10 was what then?
120.
It was 120 hours,
120?
yeah.
I got that, I got that from this one,
Yeah, and I had asked him to knock that number down,
Okay.
so I think the reason, and he didn't want to add an extra column, and what I had said to him, and the reason he dropped it to what he did, you're giving 3 weeks paid vacation to a guy that's been on the job for 1 year. And that's why I asked him to change that. I didn't know, but he didn't add a line, he just knocked the whole thing down.
Well, used to, that was,
Yeah, but you're also using it for your.
what they would do
Yeah.
is prorate their,
36,000 watt.
they would prorate their time, say you started in August, they would prorate that time to the next year. That's what they used to do for people, but
But I mean, that's-
Usually they have
everybody
1
uses
to
for
5 year,
vacation
don't
and
they?
sick.
I was gonna say, a lot of
Yeah.
places
And a
like
6 to
1 to
10.
5, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think I was expecting him to put was an extra category in there.
Yeah,
So would you guys be okay if I made it a 1 to 5,
yeah.
80, that'd be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, 6 to 10,
Yeah.
you want it at 120?
That's fine.
Yeah.
So after 10, we're gonna get more now?
After 10, or,
Yeah.
6 to 10.
So after 10, you get a week.
1 to
That's how it
5.
I gotta go 10 and a half before I get it.
80, 6 to 10 would be the 120. And then keep, or go back to the 160 for the 11 to 15, is that all right with you guys, or do you want to extend the middle time?
That's fine with me, then.
Okay, so 11 to 15, go back to the 160. And then 15 plus, you get your one, well, he didn't change that one either, so, yeah, 160 plus your 8 hours per year. And then 15 plus. Okay. All right, and then
So 11 to 15 is 3 weeks? Is that what it normally is?
11 to 15 would be the 160 hours, which would be,
Oh,
4 weeks.
160, so 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay, are you good with that? And then annual leave must be used a minimum of 1 hour increments time to give available.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know why that was in there either, unless it was, meaning that we would have to make it available if they wanted it, but, that's not how it's worded. Are you okay if I just wipe that
Wipe it
sentence
out,
out?
that's all.
And then the,
So they can roll over as many days as they want, up to 400 hours.
well, that's what I have, and I asked him to do that. He wanted it down lower, and I started talking to him. I said, 400,
What did we pay out this?
400 hours.
We just did a major payout. Was it 200, anything over 200 or anything
No,
over
it was
400?
over 400.
400?
Yeah. I asked him to keep it at the 400 to protect employees. For example, when the chief caught COVID, he was down to the point of death almost for quite a while. And then that 400 hours would be comparable to what a teacher would get in theirs as well. So they were able to cap out at a certain amount. Got a lot of districts at about that level. So I think Diamond District would be higher than that, but that was the only numbers I could go by. I'm not into the normal business, but I also knew we needed to have something in there to, since our guys can't just take 3 weeks off at a time. If they did get sick, they need to have that there. And if you guys are okay with keeping it at 400, then the ones that are over, I think we've already started trying to work them down to the 400.
There.
Is everybody there
is.
now? So, are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, absence on account of sickness, injury, or disability, and it says so hereinafter authorized by such person. Request employee and discretion will be charged against that. Yeah, I would rather have department head change to city administrator and mayor on that one as well, because that's a larger decision. I wouldn't want to take somebody's time away unless it's absolutely necessary. Are you on your bottom one that you had there, Mr. Ricker, were you just wanting to change it to earned leave instead of annual?
Earned annual leave, yeah.
So add the word.
In other words, I mean, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you look at this, you say, at the beginning of the fiscal year, okay, somebody that's been there 10 years is gonna get, what did it say?
120.
120?
At the
Yeah.
end.
And, but
And they've
the
already-
way it's written, you know, you can hold on and start the next fiscal year and get another 120, but if you put earned, and it's how much time they've been in
Plus, all
You know.
the time.
to figure out what's actually owed, instead of giving them a full 120 for a year, that they only worked a week, or the hell no, or
Oh,
something,
I see what you're saying.
you know?
Yeah, and that's where we gotta watch out anyway, is because each individual person is on their own time scale there, because it's
Yeah.
from their start date instead
Yeah.
of, so I can put earned in there, that way it doesn't just come up every, I didn't like that next one that you had either, under sick leave. We don't really have sick leave, we have PTO,
Yeah.
paid time off,
Yep.
so. City does not provide paid sick days. That sentence that says paid personal leave and annual leave can be used as sick, I just need to change that probably to, paid time off, like our system says. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah.
Are you changing anything?
The PTO paid time off, so. And then bereavement, full-time employees may be granted up to 40 hours paid. How did you want to put that one, Mr. Wicker, down under bereavement, where you
Yeah.
put earned after leave?
Put it before leave, I guess, there, but I don't know if you wanna put that there,
No,
because it would be like an advance, I mean, and
yeah,
that's something that's important, you know, so just mark that off.
all right. And then on page 19, yeah, they left off, or he left off the ordinator
Yeah.
part on the second paragraph. Are you guys good there?
Mm. The same way down the bottom.
Same one, you know, same way. Can't believe I didn't catch that both times.
And like you're saying, PTO, on page one.
Oh, I gotta go back, page 18 is where you guys said that other mistake, or other one's at, right? The employees who are involuntary terminated and do not provide any work final 2 weeks.
That was 16,
Page 18 in
or
there at
18,
the top.
yeah, 18, no.
Employees who are involuntary terminated or who do not provide and work final 2 weeks will not receive compensation or unused annual leave unless otherwise determined by the board. He's got that double worded in there, and that's what worries me.
Strike it, I think.
You want to take the whole sentence out. It shall be approved by. Can I just take out both of those two sentences? Annual leave adjustment shall be approved by the, should it say city administrator or mayor, or just take the sentence out?
Yeah,
Which one?
anyway.
I'll just put or mayor and take the first.
Two lines out.
Yeah, on there.
Okay, now back to page 20.
19 had the same thing, 2 places there.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
I
one.
got 'em both. And then
And this is
20.
when I wrote leave there, just put PTO like you said.
Yeah.
and there it is.
I think I even told him that. Okay, whoops. Better watch what I'm doing, I have typos on it, and my thing went up to the computer. Okay, and then all employees prohibited, and this is down in the second paragraph after the alcohol title. An employee is prohibited from the operation of, take out commercial and put city vehicles and equipment
Yeah.
would be good. technology, acceptable use is fairly standard, I believe. Social media, detail, Mr. Wicker on page 23.
Yeah, I just don't understand what that is about there.
Competition employees should not use their social media to criticize city competition. It should not. Use it to compete with the city. I don't know. Do you guys see what you're talking about? The sentence that starts with competition. Employees should not use a social media to criticize the city's competition and should not use it to compete with the city. It's hitting both sides of it by saying competition or used to compete with the city.
But you're in my TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know if that
I'm more just saying Granby.
Yeah,
I think
that ain't happening.
might just take that one out if you guys are okay
Strike
with
the
it.
sentence.
Yeah, I think so too, I don't know.
Alright. On page 24, Mr. Wicker, under transmission,
Oh, it's actually under secure storage.
that's in secure storage.
Yeah.
Okay. All P2 must be secure password protected systems, physical documents containing P2 must be kept in locked cabinets or areas by the document.
That's actually in our code book already.
Um, Okay, are you just wanting to
Just add that.
by the document custodian designed or designated by the board of aldermen? And then down at the very bottom, reporting suspected data breach or authorized access immediately to supervisor designated.
I mean, your
I
supervisor
think-
covers it too. but-
Yeah, I think it needs to be probably put supervisor, city administrator, mayor, or the designated IT, so that it gets taken care of as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add the two titles in there. Or mayor, on page 25, section 2, the or mayor is missing again. And any damage to or malfunction of city accidents, expectations and
Yeah, I was focusing there on, especially on the accident side, by close of business on the day it occurred, instead of within one business day. I mean, that's, if it's, within reason.
what's your word there?
The close of business on the day it occurred, accident, if you have an accident, you need that city administrator or mayor know about a COV on the day it occurred.
And I'm gonna cause of business, or close of business the day it occurred.
Yeah,
Probably need to add when possible onto the end of that.
yeah, I mean, if they're incapacitated, yeah, but that way there's no the urgency.
Well, probably out one business day and put, no later than the close of business the day it occurred when possible. On page 26, the or mayor was left out again. On section 3. Nothing on page 27. Nothing on page 28. So if I can get those changes to everybody and get it all typed up, would you be good with that document then?
Just review it.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. My digital copy did disappear. Did? I'm scanning. All right. That's all of the old business. Upcoming events. Tiffany can't be here. Do you want to say anything about the subs?
Oh, yes. So Tiffany is scheduled to be going on March 26th from 10 to noon. They're gonna be meeting over in Fairview, Missouri. A lot of, surrounding area of the collectors is going to be meeting with our subs rep. I believe it's gonna be Valerie, who's gonna be kind of going through the subs, letting them know what they can do in there and just answering any questions. So she will be gone on the 26th of March so she can get a little training and hands-on more on our subs, which is our billing software that we use for the water billing and the sewer.
And then April 9.
April 21st.
21st, yes. We will probably have to close City Hall that day so that the three of us can go to a budget meeting. I'll let Amy talk about that again, right? The budget meeting in, oh shoot. April, come on, phone.
So it's April 29th. The three of us is going to be, 21st, sorry,
At Camden.
going to Camden over at the Lake of Ozarks, and it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we was going to ask a blessing to close City Hall down that day for a training day. The budget that they're gonna be going over is how to create a municipal budget, what the laws state we have to be within, the verbiage, and which funds and line items we can use and what we can't use, and things like that. So I thought it was a very good thing for all of us to be able to attend. It was $150 for us to go, and the last time we had voted that I could spend that, and so we did. I just need a motion for that.
A motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay. And then, next we have our reports. Ron, you got your water report in here, but there was something else, right?
Well, yeah, we, for one thing, Medco, our report back on the tower, of course, we came back, it was pretty good, but there's some damage to the ladder inside, and we're gonna have that repaired. I'm gonna get a hold of Medco and see if they can give us a bid for, they're the ones that did the diving, and maybe within the next year or so, get that scheduled. And we also got violations for our lead service inventory. For contacting customers, we were 8 days late contacting customers. We turned it in on time, but the contact letters,
But that's back away. Previous administration.
Well, what we need is for the chlorinator, we need a new regulator and rotometer. It is kind of pricey. We're working right now, but I'll get some prices on it and see if we can't find something a little cheaper. But they are pretty expensive, they're around $2,000 for one.
That's
This
for
one's
over-
been there since the tower was.
Oh, yeah, this is since 2004.
Yeah, so,
I've rebuilt it twice.
yeah.
So we're due for a new one, and
Chlorine's real hard on anything, especially
Hmm.
anything corrosive, it'll sure eat it up.
And I was just basically asking him to go ahead and say it tonight so that I could get your approval to approve it once we get the piece price. The one you found today was,
It ranged, they were right at 21 to 2,300, but I also found one that was rebuilt on an eBay, but I'm just gonna check with some suppliers and see what we can do. If we can get a factory rebuilt one, that's what we'll do.
are you guys?
That's gonna have water.
Yeah,
What was the guess on the ladder repair?
we
You
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
You just get- I have no idea, I have to get a bid on, it's not cheap for them to climb them towers, especially if they gotta do welding, and we have to drain it, and they have to do coating, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not ever been worked on the inside.
Now, if you
It's
want-
been cleaned several times.
If you wanna climb up in there, climb down on that ladder that's got the rust on it with no water below you and start welding and stuff, we'll let you do it for free, Mr. Suits.
You're funny.
But yeah, I'll get a hold of them and see what they think on it, since they're the ones, they inspected it and they seen what it is, so they can give us a detailed kind of an itemization on it and see.
Are you guys
So on
okay?
the other deal, like 2,500 could be,
I hope it's not that high, but it's very possible, that'd probably be around the right figure.
25 to 3
Yeah.
would probably be a good shoot from the hip deal because
And it
there's,
may,
I was
I'm
gonna say,
sorry.
there's fittings and lines that go along with it. This is just the
just,
regulator.
oh, yeah, regular.
Yeah, so
Oh, I thought
there's
it
a
was-
little bit extra there, but.
And on, for the ladder, I mean, it may be a deal where we can get it done and get if we're gonna do it, have the tank coated or not inside, I don't know. It's not in that bad a shape inside, but the ladder is.
Are you guys okay with approving like up to 3,000 on the parts to repair the inside?
I'm good with that.
Well, on the inside, that's something that we've probably got a year that we can do this
Yeah.
on,
But-
okay?
But
Because,
as we find the stuff.
right, we can budget it for it
Yeah.
and have it ready.
If you guys are okay with approving it, that way we can go ahead and say that, but you started to make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we do that.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Ron, will you be able to, refurbish that old one and have it as a spare, or is it?
Yeah, I'll keep it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two separate parts, and the one that I wanna get is right on the bottle, cause right now you have to squeeze between the bottle and some valves and get up on the wall for it.
Okay.
So, but yes, we keep them, I've got an extra one too, so if there's an emergency, we've got one, cause we also have them at the other well.
Thank you for what you spared us so far by rebuilding the other one
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
All right. Nick with wastewater.
Yeah, I apologize, I didn't get the time got away from me with the conference last week, but, pretty quiet month as far as February goes, in wastewater. But, something I did wanna bring to your guys' attention, that our irrigation property at, Nighthawk and Bee Highway is currently under contract to be sold. So we've missed the boat on that. Tentatively right now, probably not through the end of this calendar year will anything change, and then depending on new ownership, could be a year, could be 6-7 years, according to the seller now.
The current owner, yeah.
Yeah, so, under what we were told, the new owner wants to buy it, he wants to build a house on the back of it, kind of right where we spray. So, wouldn't be a good thing to be able to continue to do that, so just wanted to plant that seed with you guys, we may wanna look and
We're gonna
see what
start
some
trying
options
to
are.
find Alternatives.
Do either of you, No, you don't know Jack Shepherd place?
Yep,
Does that
Jocko's.
join our lagoon area out there?
It does.
the backside of Jocko's does.
Yep.
And there's like, I don't know how many acres there is.
There's about 63, 64 acres there
That's
total.
right,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
look
in two
into
little
it. I don't
parcels.
know, before a developer starts to.
We have looked into it in the past, and we've brought that same thing up before. It would be better for us if it was actually joining our property to the irrigation field now. The only bad thing was we already had the infrastructure existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there, yeah.
Yeah. But the flip side of that as well is that infrastructure's been in the ground for
Over 30 years.
30+ years, so we're getting close to end of life on some of that stuff, so.
We're gonna have to rebuild city
Yeah.
anyway.
So, I mean, it's not,
I put 60 foot of pipe in over there already, so, from the old stuff.
yeah, the Jocko property over there, it's in a trust.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's in a trust there, but it would be prime, it'd be prime for what we're doing because everything south of it's farmland currently at the moment, so I don't foresee anybody developing any of that.
Can you remind me how many acres we're spraying on up in the backside right now?
We're permitted for 70, I believe.
So we wouldn't lose very much.
Wouldn't lose, no.
I'm sorry, I was gonna bring up that Tyler Smith has contacted me, about some property that Ryan Springer owns. I guess he's looking to buy that and put 3 houses back there too. And that would be on the back side of Jocko's.
Yeah, it'd be on the south side there,
So.
across from Bert's house there,
Yeah,
directly in front, behind those houses that are there, yep. Yeah, I think there's 11, 13 acres, something like that back there,
But-
so.
yeah, and the opportunity also comes up, he's gonna have to have a water line back here. If they shoot across that highway, maybe we could
How far do we
increase
go
that.
south there?
We go all the way down to Elder
Oh,
Road.
do we?
Yeah, it makes a loop down Elder, comes back up Nighthawk and connects back with everything on B Highway.
But everything we have on this side is a 2-inch, because they, instead of boring under the road and increasing the size, they just sleeved it with a 2-inch under it. That's why that hydrant's out of order down there at 706. Because, 708.
Hey,
708, because it's a 2-inch line with a 5 1/4 hydrant.
Yeah, that ain't got some.
you know, but, yeah, I wanna let you know about that property there. While it's fresh, the conference was pretty informative. A lot of neat stuff that they had there and SOPs and, of course, everybody's wanting to sell you a product or a service. But there was some neat stuff that may or may not be beneficial for municipalities and everything like that. But as far as the wastewater's going, we had a pretty dry February. We got a little moisture now, so we got a little bit of groundwater going in. So this month be popping lids and checking levels in manholes and trying to get a gauge on what kind of I&I inflow and infiltration we get from groundwater into the sewer. And we have a meeting on the 19th with OWN to discuss some of the sewer project, the wastewater project, and then water as well. Engineers are supposed to be here that day. Cody with USDA is gonna be here that day as well, if there's any kind of financial questions needed answered, so.
We did touch base with him, he was up there too.
Everything's flowing, you guys flushing your toilets, everything's working, right, so.
We will need to know what plumbing's under your house though, please. That's a problem, we sent out for lead service inventory and we got 0 back.
Nobody wanted to reply,
Is that for the water then, the water line you're talking about, or is the?
No, what this is for is our lead service inventory. It's something that we have to get done. Any lead in the ground cannot be in there. Galvanized or lead has to be replaced.
Well, I don't have to worry about it at least, so.
But we gotta know what you have and we gotta have it on file.
Mine's all PVC, so.
as long as you turn in your paper, you're good.
Mine's septic anyway, so I don't have to.
Oh yeah, no, this is water.
Yeah.
Not
oh,
wastewater.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Parks Department, I don't believe he has anything extra tonight. Park Board is meeting tomorrow night, so get that. Anything on streets and animal control? I know they've been working out there getting prepped for the concrete pour, but I don't think it's done yet.
No, it's not done yet with the rain and everything. Yeah, we're waiting for 3-4 good days, good dry days, and we're gonna have a concrete dog run in the back of it for easy cleanup and everything. We've got the panels and everything to go back with that. The boys have already formed that up, and we're just awaiting good time for it. Something also to touch base, I think we'll fall underneath the board approval, but just give you guys a heads up. Zach's looking at the Veterans Park flower boxes over here and about reconstructing those. So maybe doing some purchases, some retaining wall blocks to lock together a little better.
Instead of
And,
brick.
And instead of those stacking bricks, they glued them, and it just, you know, they, water pressure, kids, I mean, you name it, but something that you may or may not see happen here within the next month or so.
How do you look at that new light too for the flag?
Yes, sir.
We light up the flag so we go well, but we don't light up the flag.
Victoria was out sick today, so she's not here to present, but she got a
Judge, are you here to get the report?
I'm not here.
I apologize. Yes, I could.
And just before he was supposed to be here tonight, Chief had to take a citizen to Greenman Hospital. And he was there with them waiting until they have a ride back for sure, so that's why he's not here. And Sean is also off sick, like really sick today, so, good thing there's no rides going on tonight.
We can start one.
No,
United or
I did not bring my concealed carry, so I don't today. All right, city collector, she also not doing well today. And then city clerk. Yeah. Chief, I don't know if he's got it turned down. His report. And Chief's been a lot of time this last month trying to get, we have to take every ticket that we've written, do the age, nationality, sex, all that stuff, break down and turn it into the state, you gotta get turned in and submitted on time, so. Just wanted to let you know that.
Your profile?
Yeah, blood pressure profile and everything, we can turn it into private control.
City clerk.
Your first page, 7-1, is the Arvest bank account. This is our annual summary for the year 2025. This is a breakdown that they send us. It will tell you how much gas was used for the card in January all the way down to December. It will tell you how much was retail, how much was hotel and lodging. It gives you a whole breakdown. If you go through that on page 5, it also will give you transaction descriptions. So it will let you know the date that it was used, the transaction, and then the amount over to the side. And that goes on all the way to the end, but
This
it
is
does
7-1, right?
7-1. But it breaks it down, so that first page that you had seen, where it's the monthly summary of transactions, where it lists if it's gasoline or if it's retail prices, the next, all the way to the end, is going to be broke down by the transactions in that category. 7-1.
Well, my number's messed, hasn't been 2 years.
Amy, is that something the bank sends over? Or just something
This is,
that they're doing?
no, this is what Arvis sends out at the end of the year. So Arvis will send it all out.
That's all the way back.
Do you want one for your records? Just
No, I
assuming-
mean, we've got it with the receipts and everything, but that may be something to coincide when we're talking budgeting and everything like that, because they're kind of handy little
That's
deals.
all right.
Remind me, and I will get the copy that way we can
Yeah.
figure out what we've been.
But I hadn't heard of doing that, so that's a pretty neat deal.
Yeah.
That's why I'm afraid to click on that.
So absolutely, remind me, and I'll even get one for Chief so that he can see how much he uses on gas and whatnot. And then I'll make you look like it too. So the next one on there is 7-2. This was in the January packet, but I was not at that meeting, so I wanted to make sure that it was discussed. This is the Operation Christmas Child donation list. So the school contacts the fire department and chief and asks if they can help so many kids out for Christmas. This is a spreadsheet that I have made for 24 and 25 calendar year. This is the name of businesses and person who has donated to us, the dates they had donated, the address, because I like to send thank you cards to the company or to the person, and I also put on there if it was cash or check, and the amount that they had given. Walmart from Webb City donates every year to us, but they use a gift card, and it's always $200 that they give us. So when you see the Walmart, it's going to be a gift card. The amount that was given for the 2025 Christmas was, the donations that came in was $4,385. We did have a remainder of 2024 budget of $476.60. So when they started with the Walmart gift card for the 2025, it was $4,861.60. The next page, you will see the stores that was shopped at, the dates it was shopped at, the receipt number, the transaction number, and then you will also see how much was spent on that card. The total spent for the 2025 was $3,678.16. So the beginning balance for your 2026 starts for Christmas is $1,183.44. That is in the Operation Christmas Child Fund, and that is strictly just for that purpose. So he will have that much to start off. And then next year, we usually, the collector and I, we try to call probably about September, October, just letting people know in the area and businesses, and they start kind of sending them the money for that.
You tell them to open something in Dinah too.
731. This is gonna go with your 732. This was on, it was the last invoice that we had for the Market Street sidewalk. This was the amount that we needed to pay was the $15,824.40. We paid that on March 3rd with a check number 31801. It was already cashed through, but in order for us to receive that, they had to receive that payment to give us our reimbursement back from MoDOT. However, things got crossed, and so they already issued that reimbursement back January 23rd of this year. And the amount that they were supposed to give you on that first page was $12,659.52. It was automatically transferred into the general account, and when I looked at it, they actually shorted us, and it sounds silly, but we gotta keep our books right, $2. And so I contacted Samantha with OWN, who does all the invoices for us, and you'll see in that discrepancy for the MoDOT in the 732, it's an email that says it was actually their mistake. They do apologize. It was for the deed, and she usually catches that. However, she did not catch it this time. So they are aware that they did short us the $2, but they would like to know if you want to go ahead and grant them to send a check for $2. And I said that's probably the best way, so it's a paper trail, so that way everything's kosher. But I just wanted you guys to be aware of that, and if that's okay with you guys, that they send that $2 check.
Yes. Almost got it.
Thank you. And just to let you know that that reimbursement went back to the street department. Your 7.4, this is your February profit and loss statement. And I'm gonna hit real quick. On this, you're going to see, when we had the city administrator with us, he had spent 3 days with me, and he wanted to redo some line items and move some of the funds into, corporate them into one fund. For example, I had the public safety tax that comes to our police department in its own fund, because that's how I was trying to keep it quickly. We'd figure out how much they had, what was coming out of it. But he wanted me to put it into the police department under a line item, and then any expense that came out of that, just make a line item for it. I just need to know before the year ends, which will be June 30th for our fiscal year, if you want me to keep it in the police department or you want me to put it back, because when you're looking at QuickBooks and you're asking me what the police department has, and you're looking at your audit, it's going to look as if that public safety tax money is part of their income, and so it's taking out all the expenses out of that public safety tax. And so it won't show you the correct at the bottom. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So I need to know before June 30th how you want me to go about that.
I think the way you said it.
And that's the same
I know
that
it's-
we get from county, right? And-
Yeah, this is what we get from county.
And I know county pays wages out of that first before they put anything out of the general fund. And they recommend-
So,
They give,
Oh, yeah, they would.
yeah,
But why don't we do the same
well,
thing?
this year, public safety fund, I had to put it in the budget to be spent, because there was no way to balance the budget without it. So this year, it's part of the regular spending, but for record keeping.
I know it has to be
we have-
accounted for separate.
Yeah.
well, it doesn't, when I
You
talk
don't have
to the,
You just have to recognize where it's coming
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's just when you get your audit from our city auditor, it's going to look as if they, let's just hypothetically say $100,000. And so let's say that they spent $300,000 in expenses. So it's taking that $100,000 to pay part of that $300,000. So I need to know if we are separating it or if it's gonna be used. I just need to know, because when we had that city administrator here, he had me move the public safety over to the police, and I don't want to pull up my QuickBooks and with you guys ask me how much does the police have, because I really can't tell you until I know if you want that tax money in there or if you want it in a separate one.
Actually, inside of QuickBooks, there's a public safety fund, a subfolder inside of police, so that you can still keep track of those things going on there. Or is it just listed as income from?
So that's what I need to know. It would,
Separate.
I think it needs to be separated.
Because in the future, if we are where we can separate it back out anyway, how do we do that? Because part of it is for special uses, instead of just cramming everything and taking it all away. That's how you guys help pay for one of the vehicles.
Right.
And
And there's only, like on that, there's only certain things that they can be useful to.
for wages,
Yeah.
equipment, and infrastructure. So do we just,
If there's no way in QuickBooks to record what's coming out of it, we don't wanna get caught in a legal loophole.
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I wanna know, if you guys, I would like to take a vote on it, just wait, that way it's in the minutes and it's recorded as that.
Can it be totally separate from everything in QuickBooks?
Yes, it was at one time, but then when we had an administrator, he wanted me to move it, so I had to do it.
Like under a subsection of PD?
Yeah.
Second.
Oh,
Okay, motion to separate. All in favor?
Aye.
thank you. All right. The next one is gonna be 7.5. Yes, this is the checks that was written to cover the expenses for the month of February. The total amount of that was $39,347.67. This spreadsheet, if you go back to your other months that we had our thing, all these check numbers that is wrote, they're all in sequence order. So you can always check if there's a missing check or anything, if everything's in that sequence. It will tell you who we paid it to, the amount that it was paid to, the date, and I also have a spot where I put who signed the checks in the memo and what fund it came out of. The next one is going to be your 7.6. This is the financial report for February of 2026. This just gives you a breakdown and a summary of what was brought in, what was brought out, where the cash flow is at, the expenses, if it was too high in an area, what we can do to help kind of cover some areas and just profit and growth. But that is what I have started to print off so that you guys can see the exact growth and what the expenses have been.
Do you know if Tiffany was gonna mention about the trash cans too, that we found that we're like we're losing 700 a month, almost 800 a month on trash cans, on extra trash cans. 8,000 a year, that's a month of trash picked up, so. Yeah.
I don't know, nobody's saying.
Okay, well, I think she was gonna mention it. We did a deal last week, we drove around and checked all the trash cans.
Oh, for like people have to, and everything's going.
Yep, or 3 and paying for 1.
And 771, these are gonna be, the next three gonna be invoices that was over the $1,000. The first one is gonna be the Adobe. This is for the court. This is a software that is paid yearly, and this is something that the court clerk actually needs to be able to do a lot of her processes down there. That amount was $14.39.40.
Is that just individual, so that's different from our office Adobe here?
I don't use Adobe here. The only one that uses it is.
Because I've got Adobe
Do you?
on mine, yeah.
Did we didn't get a.
And it may need, I don't know, I haven't taken any
Think that one is
attention
the wording, something.
Yeah, because I know at one point in time that,
Like our Excel, that was from a former employee that paid for it.
yeah, I know at one point in time I had an Adobe down there because, when Shelley was here, it was something that I had her get for us. I thought it was a citywide suite deal that we got from Charlie Brown, so.
We know that that was the price we have to pay, no matter how many of us are using it, the court had that within us to report. But there may be other
Okay, maybe check
computers.
on that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. The next one that we have is going to be 772. This is an invoice from our city attorney, Todd Hawkins. This time, the total was $1,740 for the month. I will let you know that he does charge $200 an hour when he's putting the tickets in, but he had messaged me and he said because of the amount of research that he had to do for other areas, he was going to move those ticket entries down from $200 a month to $100 a month, sorry, $200 an hour down to $100 an hour. So you will see on the ticket entry it's $100 an hour, and then next month, depending on how much we have for him, he will decide what he wants to do on the next month. This next one, I'm kind of hoping that Chief was here, but if somebody else knows about it, this is a 773, is an invoice from Wallace Auto Repair, an amount of $1,320.91. This was for a police vehicle.
It was the same vehicle that had the radiator leak that the chief was able to fix. That part kept working. It's going fine, but something in the radiator itself busted, so they had to put in a new radiator when they were doing the test drive to make sure that everything was holding all right with the radiator. They could hear popping, I believe it was, from someplace, so they got it back. Started checking the tires. One of the tires had bad wood bearing. They had to take that out, and while they were searching the other tires, they found, I believe it was a tie rod that was cracked or about to break completely off. So they had to go ahead and replace that, because you do not need a wheel flying off in the middle of a pursuit.
And just FYI, that is the oldest PG vehicle that's in the fleet.
And the chief is hoping one day soon we'll be able to cycle it out and maybe get another vehicle. And the thing is with, I think it's both of the SUVs, they're previously wrecked vehicles that we've been able to buy at a lower cost. So we may come across parts at different times. I'm not saying that's what happened to that high rod, but I mean, stuff is going to break, but that one is probably, body-wise, getting close. Mileage-wise, it's not very high, it's like, I think it's 75,000 or something, but,
Easy
that's-
miles, only driven on Sunday.
I think it was car 3, which would be the night guys, the overnight guys' car, but Officer Trumper's right now, but that's why that expense is on there. Went in, one repair, the chief did, saved us a lot of money, radiator something went bad, and then that led to a whole bunch of other stuff. Nothing we could do, just have to go ahead and pay for it. Or put the vehicle out of action.
The next one is 7-8. This is the levy tax funds that was collected for the year of 2025. When speaking to our city attorney and our city auditor, those funds that was collected was $33,520. Those were we've had all intentions to put that towards the sewer repairs for the bond. However, because it was incorrectly levied for the 2024 and we collected in 2025, the city auditor and city attorney had discussed with myself that we need to take that money and move it into a separate fund. Once we move it into a separate fund, the 25-26 year, what we collect for the 26th will also need to go into that, and then for the 27th, we will have to ask or put on a ballot, which Todd is actually making right now, to have the citizens vote if they still want those funds that was collected to go to the sewer repairs as what we had collected them for, or if they do not. Yeah, well, he didn't say that, but he said that, it was up to the citizens, because we collected it with all intentions of using it for the sewer repairs. But he said that, we need to put that on the ballot, but in order to keep it separated, we need to open up another account. And so, we do have a letter here that, states, that you authorize to open another account, which will be labeled as debt service levy tax sewer system improvements. The City Council of Diamond, Missouri on March 9, 2026 has voted all in favor to open a new restricted municipal account dedicated to the servicing of the debt obligated related to sewer infrastructure. The account name will be City of Diamond Debt Service Levy Tax Sewer Improvement System. The account type will be a municipal checking restricted debt service fund. The City of Diamond will wish to transfer the 33,520 out of the general account and into the new account wishing to be added, which will be the one that you guys will approve tonight. The City Council has designated the following individuals as authorized signers to the bank. It is authorized to honor transactions signing by any two of the following officers, which will be the Mayor, Jerry Allen, Alderman Michael Badley, Alderman Dayton Maker, Alderman James Suit, Alderman James Kemper. Please add this new account to the online banking that the City of Diamond currently uses. The system administrator on all accounts will remain as Mayor Jerry Allen, with the City Clerk Amy Burris as the official user and viewer. And then if you guys approve that, I just need your guys' signatures and the mayor's signature so that I can take it to the bank tomorrow.
Before we go along with this, the one other thing we'll have to do fix is take that amount that was supposed to have been put on to the sewer bills and actually put it on the sewer bill for the year 2027. So we'll have to add that, a line item on there to take care of that levy tax that was supposed to have been there instead of on our property taxes.
So we should have been collecting it all this time on our sewer bills, and we wasn't. So that's why we're gonna have to put it on this.
So, the quick catch is to take funds from both years as they come in, put them into the checking account sometime during probably the 2026 or early 2027, we'd have to vote to see if the city is, or the citizens are okay with keeping that money to go toward the sewer. If not, because it was accidentally collected in the wrong way, it would probably have to be returned to them.
But if they
Oh, you know
wanna-
that'll happen.
No, but if they wanna go
Return to the
ahead
county.
and go with the improvements of the sewer, once that is voted on, and let's just say if the citizens say, yes, that's what you collected it for, let's use it, then it will be transferred out of that account and it will go straight over to the sewer for that improvement, and then we can shut that account back down. We just have to have a holding account, that way it's in there for audit purposes.
Like escrow.
Yeah. The whole, and, if Tanner is right, he was trying to estimate, he thinks, citizens actually saved because it was taken out of the property tax instead of out of the sewer bill. So, hopefully they'll go along with the idea of just cycling it back in there.
Well, nice write-up on something would be nice.
Yeah, that was what they voted for originally anyway. It was just, somehow or another got mixed up with where it was taken from.
So I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion to continue.
That was second.
We'll second that.
If I can just get the signature, the line above your name. Okay. Okay, the next one on there is going to be your 791. This is the water study. This is the final invoice for the water study. This was in the amount of $4,758. This was paid on February 25th, 2026 with check number 31798. Once that was sent to them, they actually, the very next day, they released the funds, and it was an auto transfer into our account on 2/26, and it went straight into the water department. So when you look at it, it's going to be under reimbursement for grant, and it's going to be in the water department, and that was the amount of $30,000.
I'm not broke, I'm rich.
Woo!
You can pay for your parts.
Then we have, I do have a question on 7-Eleven. This is the city mayor's computer. And I need to know if his computer and Chief's computer was actually the oldest that was running. And we already took care of Chief's computer, but now the mayor is needing to have his. This is glitching out pretty good, and then it just, yeah, depends on the day. If it has good days, it has bad days, but unfortunately, he can be in the middle of a document and all of a sudden, whoosh, and he loses everything, he has to start again. What we are asking, there's 2 invoices. The first one is if you would grant for the mayor to have a laptop and a larger monitor so that he's able to see it, whoever future mayors are able to see it. That one comes out to $1,049.
What is supposed to be the hell of a copy here? What is our balance in fund?
The general fund,
Yeah,
or,
that's where this would come out of, isn't it?
correct.
Yours is a work on that.
But if you replace it, replace it with a desktop, I mean, I'm not trying to allow you to take it with you. As you guys probably noticed, I haven't had time always doing this.
So, right now you're looking about 160,000. Now, we did get the draft on the audit from our city. And I believe I know, Michael, you haven't picked up yours yet, but I know the other ones, have you guys had a chance to review that? So, just to throw this out there, yes, we have 160,000 for this year. But we are actually negative from the end of June 30th, 2025. So, we would, I believe it was like 68,000. So kind of keep that in your minds too. Correct.
So you need to wrap up. I mean, you're using your personal computer. You need to get that fixed. You need to not do that.
Which I know that this computer is about to just leak. So if we want to go ahead and take care of the mayor, and then here in the next couple months or so, see where we're at, and then take care of the clerk, that's really up to you.
I suppose you both do that.
The second page, I think, is for the larger quantity of extra fire and stuff you need to put up to,
It would be your docking station. And our IT department would come in and take care of everything for us.
You won't want to be the clerk cost if we get both of them.
hers probably would.
I don't have a quote for mine, I just have it for his.
It'd be the same, wouldn't it? You guys running different.
Depends on, a lot of the screen size, she doesn't use large screen, she probably.
But she's got screens in there already, right?
I do.
Yeah, you've got auxiliary
So I
screens, so
don't
just be
use,
your laptop.
and I have a
right?
docking station already.
Right.
I'm using a borrowed.
So if you're gonna put both of them together, you're looking about 13 for him. And just for that alone, it's 1,000, so.
Maybe it's, I think it'll be more.
I agree.
I'd say let's just wait and see what happens. Oh, no, on yours, go, and then on Amy's, we'll wait a couple months or so. Still.
So we're
Do
looking
you
at,
have a desktop that you're using too?
no, it's
Just
straight
the
laptop,
personal
and it's a docking station for 2 other monitors. So I use 3 monitors, and then it's all done off of here. Yeah, no, before the city administrator left, he got it all fixed, because I was waiting on the docking station for it, we got it fixed.
Can I make a comment? I don't know how I feel comfortable about my personal information being on somebody's personal laptop away from the city. That's just my opinion on it.
So let me throw this out there. This I bought strictly for my work here. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even use it at home. I have nothing to use it at home. So it's nothing but city stuff, but I understand where you're coming from too.
But by law, if something was to happen, you don't
Absolutely.
have to grant access to anything without.
Correct. So that's another thing that, I mean, whatever you guys wanna do, I just know that he needs it, and we will have to replace this one.
I think it's a legal compliance issue. We need to go ahead with both of us now.
You wanna go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
So do we wanna put a max cap on it, and just say nothing over 25? Which, I have everything I need, I just need a city laptop.
Yeah, I'd say 25 one.
I like motion to
So, I
get our, letter back from state on the, audit, but they're not calling it an audit, they're calling it an investigation. So they are, we did get the letter, the chief investigator had actually sent me an email, and they sent the letter through, the post office as well, but requesting, and I know it's in your guys',
710.
thank you, 710. Those 5 things is what she had asked for. The bank statements for all accounts, including all canceled checks, deposit slips, and supporting documents. Reconciliation complete for all bank accounts. Credit card statements and supporting receipts and invoices. Receipt reports for all utilities. What that meant was all of our water and sewer bills that we send out. So they needed the water report. And then open and closed minutes. As soon as she gave it to me, within 3 hours, she had everything she needed, plus more. She was like, I've never seen somebody so organized. So, but we did not have CDs. And I explained to her that I have not had access to those CDs since we started those CDs, but Mayor was the only one that had that access. So what he did for me was he printed them off, and I sent them to her today. So,
Actually, I have to go to the bank too, because they don't show up online, CDs are separate, so as the administrator, I just have to go request that they're not the activity on the account.
This is what we requested?
so it was what we requested, but then right after you guys requested it, we had a whistle blow. And so they was wanting, pretty much everything that you guys had requested, but they went in a little bit more extent and asked for the minutes as well.
This letter that you have here is the one received for the whistleblower. It doesn't have a title for both.
Yeah.
That was something she talked with Amy about.
But she's tagging them both up together and cleaning it and making it all together, so she doesn't have to have 2 different stuff come at her.
Did this include the alleged fraud that Tanner had
Never
reported?
alleged fraud, he was checking on,
Well, that's what it said in one of them, alleged fraud, potential alleged fraud.
I didn't think that was how the letter was
It
worded.
sounds good.
I'll have to read that.
Was that in here?
Misappropriation of funds, I think.
Was it in here? Was it included in this whistleblower complaint?
No, it was not. What you see on that letter is what was said.
That's the whistleblowers for 6 months, January to July. And
I'll read it to you. It's on your 710.
It is your 710.
I mean, actually, it says the 5 days.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's complaining is concerned with possible misappropriation and misspending of funds.
But I talked to her today, and she's still working on it, so she said as soon as she can get it back, she will do so.
So this is fine.
No, this is just the letter that we received.
As I explained at the last meeting process, is they will send out a letter saying what they need us to send into them. They do an investigation through the paperwork, which may or may not find everything. If they find fraud, it immediately goes to an audit, and the city will have to pay for the audit. If they finish the investigation and only find some things like misappropriation or mistitling or things like that, they'll send us out the report so we can make those changes. And then the city can decide, okay, yes, go ahead and do the full audit, or we're good. If we, anytime we say do the audit, or they say we have to do the audit, that's what the city pays. The paper investigation part is free. So, but that'll be the steps it has to take. This was just step one, and then Amy, you're turning the items to step two.
But she has everything now, so she's good.
Then we just have to see it for the pool, and that we requested if it's for longer than that 6 months, so that it gets things to water.
And then if there's nothing that they find, they close it out, and then send you a report saying nothing there. But that's all I have.
It's that one, no matter. Longest part is going through the handbook and everything that Amy's got to give a report on. I'm gonna try to keep mine quick and short. On the CDs, the 5 at 50,000 so far, as of the 129, 130 rollover, each one gained $1,008.22 for a total of $5,041.10. This time the rollover rate, the bank had dropped to 3.5%, so we won't get a 4% again, but at least it's still above 3. So our amounts have already been rolled over, they're already started on the new 6 months. And this time it'll be 3.5%, because that was the current rate at the time we rolled. If we'd have gotten it in earlier, like I hoped to, we would have 2 of those 4%, so we didn't quite make it in time. I was hoping the rate would stay up anyway, but I knew it was dropping everywhere else, so. Are we good there? And then, I had a meeting with Superintendent Kevin Young out at George Washington Carver on February 10th. Purpose of the meeting is the state wants him to meet with cities and city administrators to see how they can kind of cooperate together. Ours has already been sort of doing that. Like when they redo something with asphalt, I think Nick and the guys get the rock brought out to the and they can use that for alleys and stuff like that they need it for. So little things like that's already been taking place, but so we're supposed to meet like every 2 or 3 months, and he said that meeting went so well he wanted to have one every week. So I was happy with that. It was a very good meeting. Next one will be April 9th, I think. That's what I probably thought, April 9th is the next meeting after. Also, upcoming meetings, park board meeting tomorrow night. We're supposed to meet with Liberty Thursday the 12th, at 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock. And Nick is going with me on that one because he'll have our public works side and be able to see where their lines, they're starting to run new power lines that they hope to reach all the way down to Branson area, I believe, is what these originally kind of showed.
Transmission lines, you guys may or may not have received anything, depending on where you live, but coming from Seneca, bridging up through the Diamond area, I think everything is gonna be south of the actual city limits. But, and then it's gonna meander towards Monette and then down and around. Just if we've got any projects, any future growth, anything like that that may impede their design of these lines, if that's kind of what this is.
And it'll give us a chance to sit down. I think it'll just be us for an hour, so that if we have questions, we can ask it. And I think Rick's already mentioned with OWN on the 19th. That one is at 1 o'clock. I believe that was one of the ones we were supposed to request one of you guys to join us. Mr. Wicker said he would like you as the president to be there, but that's in your work day and you're going to be
Short
off 1 month later.
Yeah, short time.
So, is there one of you that will be available on, April, or, March 19th? Yeah, next week. At 1 o'clock, we'll be here in this building.
James, you going?
I might be.
I don't know what to do.
As long as everybody stays out of the hospital, I'm good.
And if both of you can come, I mean, you can, but, they said that we'd like to have at least one alternate. But if we get too many, we'll be trying, we don't want to have three, because then we'll have to have.
Yeah, it'll be a big quorum, but two will be.
How about you sign up and if you can't go, something wrong, how about?
That's fine.
Alright. Also, you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this. That's our process for voluntary annexation of state right-of-way procedure summary that MoDOT sent me. But before we do that, or even consider that again, we need to try to get through or pass an ordinance regarding irrevocable consent policy to be added to our water. So that when they sign their water contract, it's already in there.
When the property ever becomes continuous with the city limits, then they're automatically in, there's no votes, there's no nothing as part of the water.
No,
And it may be a year, it may be 50 years before it actually becomes continuous, but in the event of that, then there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And in the meantime, along with that, while they're taking city water outside the city limits, it is a higher rate for the city to be using extra funds to cover the distance. And we cannot deny water rights to them because that was part of the grant for the new tower and running the water line out is to help those people that had wells and everything. But if we can get that done, and then look at this stuff and see if that's something we still want to go through with.
Do we have a copy of that? To look at?
A copy of
What we were told we would be required to do, if there's not this grant, to do that water line all the way out through.
those will ever form my copy.
I'm sure it's here in the records and the ordinances, somewhere in the file room.
That's what we're talking about, is not covering for bad wells. This is for new construction.
I know, but that's why
There's
we were
an
allowed
impact
to have
zone out
those
there.
water lines running out that way, and it was big.
Yeah, well, I just like. to
Their,
see
their
what it
wells
says,
are
you know?
contaminated. All the Longview Circle, that's why this system was put in, because they're all contaminated wells.
You know, I would just like to see a copy of it. I don't know where it'd be, I'm sure we got one
In
somewhere.
this building.
Yeah,
But,
somewhere.
Yeah.
but, this would cover, you know, if the city expanded out there, it would automatically be coming in if we can write the irrevocable consent form into our water contract. This would be
Well,
setting
then
up
we
our,
do that. I mean, that doesn't sound like a major undertaking.
we just have to add it into our contract, so we'd have to have an ordinance to say to write it in. But, I just talked with Nick and Ron today about that, that's where, that was something him and Cannon were already talking about before. We got some information already in on that as to the verbiage that should use for theirs, so that we have something we can go with and try to run with it. I guess to us. So, we should be able to have that ordinance within the next month or two, have it ready to go. Well, you can't approve it till the next board meeting anyway.
Yeah, I know, but this is what we've got, and it's been 5 months in the works, you know?
But I can tell you that this isn't supposed to be a short fix anyway. And right now, there is, and I can't tell you the wording because it isn't in there, MML sent out a list of items that are bills or whatever going through the Senate and stuff right now. And there is one that contains verbiage that deals with voluntary annexation stuff. So, getting this irrevocable part added to our water policy is a good start. And then when we know what the verbiage is on the voluntary annexation, whether it's still gonna be a viable thing for us to do like we did the highway here, do it out B, and then they'll be right there at the end of where our water line's at, and we connect the subdivision. Hopefully things will start working out there.
But as long as we get that in place, then,
Eventually, no matter what.
so whenever we do annex out that part, it's gonna take a couple annexations, right, to get out of our corner. Then we have to.
They may grant us the water rights annexation at once, I don't know. She said she couldn't tell me that until we got through these, because we got step one is just to request from MoDOT, and that could take a month.
So like, what if those people out there say, if you guys build a house in Detroit, and kind of like, we don't have any of this in place?
If we have that consent form in our contract.
Just a consent form.
Yeah, that's just strictly in-house verbiage, so.
And that'll cover us until we can get through anything, no matter what.
And just as a heads up, I've got it in my notes for the meeting, with OWN, and then Cody from USDA, USDA is probably where that grant money came from with the EPA, so he may have a little knowledge on that as far as what you were asking, Dave, as far as the paperwork and everything. So I've got it in my notes to chat with him about that, just to make sure we're on the right area on that deal, so. Because I do know it was I'm pretty sure it was 100% funded. So usually when those projects are like that, there's a lot of I's and D's that gotta be taken care of throughout the life of that system, so. Probably, yeah, 05, 06, somewhere in that range, so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing the water tower almost by the time we were beach. I may have just not thought about it before. So, I might need to spend that right, trying to get the ordinance written up.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it next month.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just dragging our feet. is all we're doing.
But I wanted you to have at least what the processes are that we'll have to go through. And the bad part is step one is MoDOT, step 5 is MoDOT.
I would think they would be, I would think they'd be the easiest one to get to.
You know, but it's how long it'll take to get through there. It's a
If we got something to them.
Well,
I'll let you do the permit next time we have to get in the highway.
Yeah.
but,
My son used to work there, it's bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure, I don't know why one doesn't start with, that's a good reason.
But, that's where we're at on that stuff, and I'm gonna cut mine off right there. Mr. Ballard, do you have anything? Mr. Ricker?
City administrator position was open. I guess we didn't talk about that. We just wanna leave it open. How many applications have we received?
I have one resubmitted, one resubmitted.
What we talked about is running it, couple times this month, couple times next month, try to get some, hopefully some decent. Is that all right with you guys?
It was, so I ran the ad in the paper, 3 weeks, and that amount came up to, I'm rounding up to about $500, but that's in the paper. So I just need to know how many more times do you want to put it in the paper? Because 3 times was about $500 to post that ad.
Yeah, it's good, it's basically posted.
The only other place that I have it is up here in the window.
We probably need to.
Well,
I didn't know
Indeed,
they made the newspaper, didn't they?
well, Indeed costs us
Indeed,
crazy.
Indeed charges.
On
you
the back
by the
page of the
click.
big nickel.
Yeah, and that was
Everybody charges more.
out of wages.
Yeah, Indeed charges you by the click. So, like when we were trying to do the police officer, janitors clicking in there to see if they can somehow squeak into the position, and charges. So, I think we probably need to expand our posting places to more than just the one there. To some other busy places in the area that have boards up that you can post at.
hanging on something else, MRWA does have a classified, section on their website that municipalities can list equipment, job openings, et cetera, that maybe something to look into on that as
Thank you.
well.
Yeah, Missouri is.
Do you want me to go ahead and run that ad though in the paper a couple more times, or?
I get the position filled.
Maybe checking in those other two places.
And see how those go first, and
Yeah.
the next meeting go on something, okay?
Okay, on the budget. If you look in our code book, there's stuff that we should already be doing in preparation for the budget. I don't recall what the code number is, but it says in there like in February you do this, March you do this. Have we began doing any of that stuff yet? If not, we need to look at it, we need to solicit.
You guys would say you wanted Tanner to.
Well, Tanner's gone, so
I
Tanner's
know,
not an issue.
but I'm just saying, I was completely hands off of the budget stuff for the 5 months
We need to get
that he
things
was
on.
in it. And I've got maybe what little bit he had, I don't know, he didn't even send me a copy of what he showed me, so I have to come out.
Well, what it says in there is something to the effect that in January, you need to request from all the departments their pie in the sky, once for that year. In February, you do something else to, it's all laid out in there. And instead of us waiting until a month before,
I was gonna say, that's pretty much what I had to do in the very month or 2 months I had.
we need to start doing that. That's not what we're trying to do that here, if we haven't already. Do we have everything from Tanner Twisty to close out? We've got a letter,
I've got his, the official one. He already knows.
yeah, we gotta cover the cities behind,
Yeah.
okay? We need that letter, and we need it on file. And we got his computer, right?
Yeah, we got it.
And his access is all in. I wanted to kick around the idea, sit down and think about it, and then discuss it at next month's meeting. Is looking at converting the city clerk and potentially collector to salary exempt. I know the clerk qualifies. The way I read it, it's based upon the job duties versus the title. The city clerk will qualify from what I'm aware. And if the collector and the city clerk is required to fill in for each other, it looks to me like they would both qualify. You know, and I've asked our attorney for opinion on that. And I haven't heard back from him yet. So, wait to hear on that. And the other one, I got an open session with, I'm glad our judge is here. You're on a 2-year contract, right?
Yes.
And was that like in August or?
I believe it was.
Somewhere in that time frame or something.
Potentially was. I don't know if there was a temporary for the rest of Steve's contract was for.
Well, what I wanted to bring up is, I wanted to get opinion on everybody else's, if we want to continue having city court, you know, we really don't have to do much except for this contract. But if we want to move that to circuit court, then our decision should be look into expenses, look into, you know, what impact it has on our city. It takes like 6 months to accomplish something like that, and that would be close to the time frame, you know, the contract that we have. That's something that we need to consider anyway. I don't know if you have any numbers to look at, maybe we can get that. Off the top of my head, it was looking like 60-some thousand a year in the whole, am I right, or is that, is what you're talking us to have?
Last, yeah.
Well, I don't know what cost we would incur, that's what we need to. We got their attorney, yeah, but that's not.
Your officer.
Any day that there's a court date, that officer's gotta be present for his.
Sure.
for his
They don't
review.
have a one-day
He
set.
does that here anyway.
But it's not a
They don't
one-day
have a
court.
one-day court.
It's.
Courts are all through the week.
Whenever they have.
That's what we need to look at, too, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm just throwing that out there because there is a time lag if we wanted to do something like that. Okay, that's all.
Hey, Amy, on his budget for the ordinance, he was discussing it, it was in there, there's a budget calendar, 135.055. It's from 79.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
we,
That's
just,
wonderful.
may want to look into that, but that's the number that you were talking about. It gives the breakdown, January, February, et cetera, so.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Because it's the taxes that come in, something's always. I was just curious, what's that land we're talking about, south, is it south of where it used right now, right? The land that we should
It's
be.
east.
Directly east of our irrigation field.
It's the big field, as soon as you pass the corner there, heading out of town across from the high school,
Uh-huh.
the field immediately to your west, off of 59 Highway. And if you look across there, there's a tree line to the west, and that's the city property. Shepherd Street.
Where we took you back the other day and went back to the back of that pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the,
If you look straight to the east, it's just past our place, the fence splits it.
So that would work out perfect.
Oh, yeah.
This road.
It
So,
would.
how much would that cost, or do we even have it, or can we even purchase it?
that's a conversation
Yeah.
for the Joan Jocko Trust.
Yeah.
whoever's the executors of that trust. That'd be a conversation the city'd have with them, see that it's,
Even on.
well, I mean, everything's for sale because we're a municipality. It's just how much paperwork's involved in it.
If you have an owner instead of a trust, you could work on a contract agreement. You like what we've been.
I think it's Yoder and Douglas, I think, are the two.
Tracy Douglas.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think those are the two on the trust, so.
And then we gotta figure out how to get more businesses in this town, or we can't keep sustaining the person, they had to Band-Aid all the water lines, now we can't even fix them. So what'd you guys say, it was like 6 Band-Aids on like 150 foot?
Oh, less than that.
Yeah, it's like 15 feet.
Okay, so, so,
And that's something that we're gonna discuss with OWN when they're here this week about the water study and steps moving forward with what the financial options are and help with that stuff.
Yeah, I think in our last meeting, we talked about the Matera project, and there was gonna be a meeting a week from our last meeting, which would be about 3 weeks ago. That was gonna be you and, Nick and maybe Ron. Did that meeting ever happen, and what were the results that we did?
It was over the phone
is that my terror one?
at our office.
And basically just got them on our page.
Yeah, there was a little miscommunication between the city administrator, Public Works, and the developers of that property on what the city was able to help with and what the city was not able to help with. We're now all on the same page.
So is it still a possibility to go, or?
Yeah, they're gonna start, I mean, they're in the game to make money and sell lots, so that's gonna be where they're going. There were a couple discussions about, financially, they know we can't put the pipe in the ground. We might be able to offer some sort of rebate, similar to what Liberty does. If you construct property, once that goes to a permanent service, they get X amount of dollars back on the installation of the meter. That's something that could be discussed with you guys, but, it really just depends.
That would
But-
protect us from them going in there and building 4 houses and having all
Yeah.
kinds of thousands of dollars of infrastructure put in, and we never get back on it.
You know, if we pony up the money to build it, they could cut tail, sell 3 lots, and then we're stuck with all this money in the ground.
Right.
You make it to where they pony up the money, they've got a vested interest in it to develop the land like they want and get their money recouped out of it. And in doing that there may be a rebate program that we can come up with as far as the meter installation, the water taps, et cetera. So.
We discussed that, main sides and hydrants.
Yeah.
So is there a time frame? Are they in a rush to get going, or are they?
Oh, they're always in a rush.
They're in a rush.
Contractors.
Contractors are always in a hurry, but what, just like we spoke about with MoDOT, they've still gotta get DNR permitted and this and that to develop that land, so it's a paperwork game on that, but, they have committed it's gonna happen. I look for something, don't quote me on it, I look for something to happen summer, when they actually start getting after it. But the conversation was, there was 3 phases to that. First phase involved 83 lots at 4-acre lots. And they want to do the complete infrastructure of water, roads, phase 1 complete, whether, they're not going to just piece it together a little bit at a time, put it all in and then start selling lots. 4 acres and up, so minimum of 4.
They're not saying they won't sell it all.
Yeah, they'll sell as many as somebody wants to buy,
But they're wanting to commit to phase 1, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So do we need the V-Highway annexation to get that going, or not?
Not if you get the
If we do the,
water.
yeah, we
Your
do
local.
the irrevocable. Thank you. And I stumble on that all day. We get the consent form in our system.
As soon as it touched them, they would be in.
Yeah, so.
Man, we can be done as soon as possible.
And see, what that does, that isn't for the developers, that's for the homeowner, you know, so. But the meeting was good, I'm glad it happened because we were 180 degrees out on some things where some wires got crossed. So,
Good, good.
Yeah, and that was also because not just with us, who they talked to, and different owners.
Okay, very good. That's it.
All right, with that, we will move to closed meeting, section 610.021.3 RSMO, hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public government body when personal information about the employees is discussed or recorded. Have a motion to move into closed session.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Whenever you go to learn the budget stuff.
You think?
Yeah.
It's for voting. That's what I heard.
Amy.
Yeah, they're gonna show me the door, that's what they're gonna do.
If you guys need me for it, I'll be outside.
You can stay here,